And we got to the behavioral health where my friend, works. And there was another car parked there, and this young man came out with this white lady that kept, calling him, her driver, which was hilarious. We're like, okay, whatever. I walked away, myself and Precious, because it was cold. We went to a store, she wanted to try out sweaters and stuff like that. While we were there, her mom called and she's like, you guys should come back. I'm like, okay, let's go back. We haven't gotten my frappe yet, but we have to get that frappe. That's why I came out in the first place. Got back. I see my friend beckoning to me. I'm like, oh God. And the dude is standing there checking his time. I'm like, whatever, person. Whatever. Who did you think that dude was? You guessed right. It was Nils. Ooh, it's so nice out today.
It's so nice, isn't it? So beautiful.
Yeah. And the one thing we almost never use is our balcony. So it's a good thing that the weather is getting better so that we can really enjoy the balcony. We rarely use it.
I know.
But yeah, I'm really happy that. Oh, yeah. Remember my cousin that we met? True story. My father's father is actually, was actually like the king of the village. Yep. He actually had 7 wives and 40 children.
40?
Yep.
Wow.
And my mother's father on the other side, which is one of the cousins I ran into, also was a king in the village, and he had 40 wives and over 200 children.
Whoa. That
Yep.
is a lot.
I know.
Thank you.
Yep. So, that kind of makes me a princess.
Like, princess?
Yeah, that's what it means, right? If both of your parents are prince and princess, you are born a princess.
Like the one that's see on TV? After a whole new
Not
world.
that kind of princess. Yeah, his mom owned the behavioral health that my friend was working with. So he was there that morning to drop off a client and had a message for my friend. So she beckoned me over. I got there. She was like, this is Nils. Nils, this is Helen. You said you're single, you're not dating. Well, you guys should exchange numbers. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing right now. But then I mean, I was in front. I was like, hey, I shook hands with him. Now everyone in the neighborhood was okay. Well, not everyone, but all the people, the patients, the outpatients, the inpatients, or they were standing outside and gawking at us. Everybody was looking. I'm like, okay, this is way too much pressure. And I guess he felt it too. So he was like, do you want us to go to the car and talk? I'm like, ooh, gentleman. I'm like, okay. I didn't have hair. Okay, yes, I did have hair. I flipped my hair. My fake wig, of course, curly, bouncy hair. I was looking good. I was like, yeah, sure. I walked. He opened the door. I'm like, what? He opened the door? Because I had this preconceived notion about, how African American men are because of what we watch on TV back in Lagos. So I did not have any idea that they were well spoken. I thought he was going to slow and use the inner ease, when you watch Love and Hip Hop, and that's where you get your education of what African American. I apologize, guys. I do apologize now, but that was my mindset then. He got the door for me. I walked in. I was like, okay. He turned the car on because it was a really cold day. This was 31st of October, right? He was like, I'm not driving anywhere. I just want to make sure that you're warm. I'm like, "Oof, dude, you couldn't kidnap me even if you tried. Ninja babe. I would have been like, You know, I would have showed him my punching skills. But I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Trying to show my sexy self. It doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know how to be sexy. I'll just be real. So we started talking, exchanging ideas. I told him I was from Nigeria. He told me he just came to Vegas from St. Louis, Missouri, and that's where he's from. I was like, nice, very nice. And we started asking each other what we, like to do. I told him I like to write, I like to read, I like dancing, just stuff like that. He was like, let me show you something. He reaches out to the back of his car, pulls this book, gives it to me. I'm like, it had his name on it. I'm like, ooh, look at this, Mr. Big Shot. Here. I was like, you published a book? He was like, yes, it's self-published, but you have to start from somewhere. I'm like, that's dope. I have a book too that I have been dying to publish it back in Nigeria, but I couldn't really get a traditional publishing house to help me out. So long story short, he gave me the book, told me he wanted to see what I look like on in my Halloween costume. I'm like, I am dressed as a slutty nun. Yeah, slutty. You will see pictures of that later. But he was like, I would like to see what you look like in your costume. I'm like, well, you have to come to the party. I'm going to. It's at a club. And he showed up at the club, of course, at the party. And we just started flowing. We just gelled. We danced a little bit. I was like, do you want to go back out? Because my friends were going to Fremont. And he was like, sure. And then on our way to the car, I was like, why am I going to Fremont? I've been like up all day. I just want to go home and chill. So that's what I did. I told him, let's just go home. So he took me home that night. No, to my house. I know what you are all thinking. That's not what happened. We sat in the car and talked and talked and talked. Don't ask me what we're talking about. I don't even remember. We have tried to remember what we're talking about. We have no idea. I don't remember, but it was so good because we talked from like 11:30 till 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Yep. And then he invited me to church the next day, which was a Sunday, and that was when we had our first date. That I will tell you in another episode. You have to stay tuned to watch what the first date with Niels was like. But that was how we started seeing each other, and then got married. And um, in 2015, I was able to publish my first book. Finally, it's called Greener Pastures. It is on Amazon if you want to check it out. Please do. Um, and Niels was able to publish his second and third book, Shattered Glass and It Never Rains in Jacksonville. He had Glass House out by then, so he did a sequel to Glass House called Shattered Glass, and then he did a standalone novel called It Never Rains in Jacksonville. You need to read these books. But since 2014 till date 2019, he has written Shattered Glass, It Never Rains in Jacksonville, The Dream Job, and I have only written just one. Yes. And then we also were able to shoot our first feature film titled Stay, which has to do with our life. Is loosely based. I'm not going to tell you what the end is like, but the beginning is about how we met and all that stuff. So once we get distribution for it, you will be able to like finally see it and see if it mirrors what you've heard today or not. But yes, Stay went on to was selected for two festivals. The Las Vegas Black Film Festival 2018. We were nominated for 3 awards. Yep, we were nominated for the best feature film. Can you believe it? That's just to tell you that dreams come true. I mean, we shot this movie by ourselves. We're going to do a whole episode on Stay that I will have Niels along with so that we can like break it down for you, but not on this episode. But yes, we were nominated for best feature. We were also nominated for best romance, and we were also nominated for best screenplay. We ended up winning best romance and best screenplay, which is to the glory of God. And we also were selected for the African Film Festival in Dallas, TAFF, which we went to. It was such a wonderful experience because we got to meet so many other filmmakers. It was super amazing. That was last year. This year, 2019, we know that God has so much more in store for us, but that's my story coming to America, the journey so far. Yes, it has been quite a journey, and it has been both up and down, exciting and sometimes scary, especially when I was denied my stay. When I submitted my papers for my green card and it was denied. It was denied in December of 2015. It was a very, very sad period for Niels and I. So, yes, when we first submitted those papers and it was denied, we were so crushed. I'll tell you why it was denied. So we needed an affidavit of support from someone else because Niels didn't have enough income to support me. So we needed a sponsor. And that was November of 2015, I think. But we got his aunt to, step up and be like, yes, I will support you. But by the time we submitted the document, it had passed the stipulated days. If you get those letters, you have to act fast. You have like 45-day window to send those responses back. So we missed our 45-day window and we were denied. And everybody was like, you have to get a lawyer. You have to do this. You have to do that. All that was on my head was, they're sending me back to Nigeria. What am I going to do? How are we going to make it work? Niels was like, if you're going, I'm going with you. If we have to raise goats, we will raise goats. I'm like, dude, this is not coming to America the way Eddie Murphy portrayed it. No, there are no goat raise. People raise goats, but that will not keep us, it won't sustain us. So, well, yeah, now we can laugh about it, but then it was really serious. It almost casted, like a shadow over Christmas. But we prayed. Everybody was like, if you get a lawyer, it will help you, because if you get called to the courts or whatever, you have someone, an attorney, that is like helping you out. But we didn't have the money for an attorney. He was the only one working. I couldn't work. So we prayed. And I was like, Jesus, you have to be my advocate. I don't have anybody. That was when, in January, we called the USCIS office and, just to find out what the next step would be, what we need to be doing, how we need to be proactive. And I spoke with the worst customer service person I have ever spoken to. He just asked, name. He said, alien number. I gave him my alien number. I explained why we were calling. He was just like, okay, we'll get back to you. Do you have any other question? He sounded so disinterested, so unconcerned, that I told myself that time, from that day, I was like, if I ever get a job as a customer service person, no matter how many times I've heard the situation or that they are going through, I'm going to try to be as compassionate as possible. I'm going to try to treat it like this is their life or death situation or whatever, because it just discouraged me. I was like, wow, this dude doesn't know he's playing with my life right now. He just sounds like he doesn't even give a damn, no matter what happens. But yeah, that really was a turning point for me with regards to, customer service. Lavida girl finally came to stay in Vegas. Yes, that is my journey so far. In 2016, I got my first job as a seasonal, guess what? Customer service. In 2017, I got my second job. It was also customer service. That's where I work right now. I cannot give you names, I'm sorry. But yes, that is my journey. And you're going to watch me driving to work. I just wanted you guys to have a feel of what my everyday life in Vegas is. Since you can't have a feel of what it was like to be in Lagos, I wanted you to have a feel of what it's like to be in Vegas. My husband and I we work in the same place, by the way, so we would usually drive to work and we would pray in the car before, we start our day, because even though we prayed at home, we always pray in the car as well, because, you can't have too much Jesus in your life. You really can't. But that's how we do it. And I am excited that you're caught up. If you have any questions or comments about what you've heard or seen today, please feel free to put your comments below, put your questions as well below, and I'll be happy to answer them or, talk back to you about whatever. And that is Coming to America, the journey so far. I hope you guys enjoyed our skit at the beginning. We've been wanting to do that forever. I love Eddie Murphy's Coming to America, and I'm always like, you all think this is how it is in Africa? We don't ride around in elephants. I don't have a pet tiger or a pet lion. I wish I did. I would love to have a pet panda. Yes, one or two. But that will be for later. Maybe when I'm wealthy enough, I'll be able to buy a panda. But that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell me what more you want to see about my life. I am excited to meet the people I've already met. I'm excited with, thank you again, Eileen, for the present. Eileen, love you. I love the present too. And next time you're going to see me rocking that cup. Thank you for all my subscribers. I know you're not up to 1 million yet, but hey, we're getting there. One person at a time. That's why you have to share and get people to keep talking about it. Yes, Niels is picking up some Nigerian, and I am picking up some American. So we're kind of like blending. We're a blended family. We're like the true story of African American. We're African American. Get it? I'm sure you did. This is Lavida Girl signing out, saying peace. We will talk and see next episode. I don't know why my voice just went up like that. I really have no idea. But I'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Bye bye.
Oh my God. Like, that was hard.